Have you ever struggled with identity?
I think we all do, if we're being honest.
Uh-huh.
However, I think for me, since like seventh grade that I can remember, I was always the kid that was alone and always a kid that didn't fit in. And so in my mind, there were seasons where I wished that people would invite me to the table. But I'm so thankful that early on in my life that God blessed me with the understanding that I have to create that table. And when we had that big spike with the DJ brand and we really started getting notoriety in the city, there was a quick maybe month or two where all that validation was very new to me and I didn't really know how to respond to it.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, we had the covering of the Lord to remind me of those moments where I felt like I was alone or by myself and recognize that, hey, they're not clapping for you, Iman. They're clapping for what you can do. And when you understand that very early on in your career, you recognize that you don't have to succumb to who they want you to be.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there's been times where not having parents growing up that I felt like I would never be a good husband or I would never be a good father. And there's times where I've really had to fight through that identity and have people speak into my lives that I do deserve to be a good husband. I do deserve to be a good father. I do deserve to be a strong leader within the entrepreneur space because I am willing to do whatever it takes for those things.
Yeah.
However, yeah, there was definitely moments where I felt like I wasn't enough or that I would never be those things. And it showed up in my relationships and it showed up in how I ran my businesses. But when you get everything taken away from you and you really have to sit down and just listen to the Lord, like he instills this confidence in you and he reminds you whose you are. And then when you know that, it doesn't even matter what you are at that point. Because you know that anything you put your hands on, you're going to give it your best because that's what you're called to do.
Yeah. Well, and it's, I look at the talents I've got as a gift, like they've been given to me, right? And the talents, the businesses that I've been able to become a part of or start, like those are all a gift. And what do you do when you've been given a gift? All you can do is say thank you, But that humility, or being able to humble yourself and understand that it's a gift, you also know it can be taken away at any minute.
Exactly.
Which makes you even more grateful for it when you've got it, and even more grateful for the people that support you to live your dream. Right?
Yeah. And those skills to me, in a way, it reminds me of sports. You could have practiced the same scenario within a sports situation. Let's say basketball, and the clock's winding down, you're going to shoot this three-pointer. And if we're being honest about success, there is a little bit of luck attached to it.
Sure.
You train every day not knowing if you're ever going to get that opportunity to make that three and that game winner. And one day you might hit it, the next day you might not. And that legacy is on the line of that luck. And so as business owners, when we really get down to the nitty-gritty and we look at our strategy, we say, wow, there was these very pivotal milestones in this growth, and we got really lucky. And if we're being real with our people, we say that and we acknowledge that. But same thing like you said, we acknowledge that luck and that happening as a gift. And so we just say thank you.
Yeah.
We're going to continue to show up. We're going to do the work when nobody's looking. But at the end of the day, how people receive it and the success that comes from it, or going viral or any of these things, you have to rely on the luck of somebody else.
Yeah.
Whether it's a customer, whether it's a boss, whatever. And so that alone humbles me enough to know that if I ever think I'm better than somebody, that chances are I've just had my luck stack up in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's also letting your ego get the best of you too, right?
Exactly. Exactly.